Hey, what's up, Lightbolt Joe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2004 sequel film, Blade Trinity. So this is the third film in the Blade franchise. There's then one season of a Blade TV series right after this with not Wesley Snipes as Blade. There was some lawsuit where he was listed as a producer, but he didn't get producer stuff to do or something like that. And he sued New Line Cinema for something like they didn't pay him his full salary, something. So that's why they didn't cast him then for the TV series, but it obviously didn't do well because that was it. One season, that was it, done. So then moving forward, 20 years later, 2024, we have Deadpool and Wolverine, where Wesley Snipes is back as his Blade character. That was the combination Blade and back. Within regards to that character then being brought into a multiverse to then help Blade and to help Deadpool and Wolverine fight to save their multiverse. That's what's cool about bringing Wesley Snipes back 20 years later, playing the same character, much like how bringing back Jennifer Garner as Elektra 20 years later, much like how bringing back Chris Evans as Johnny Storm 19 years later. So that's why we're revisiting these 2000s films to then get prepped and ready for that ultimate battle scene at the end of Deadpool vs. Wolverine, which I still haven't seen yet. This is why we're doing it. Now, Hannibal King is played by Ryan Reynolds in this, which is hysterical because he plays Deadpool, and I know they have a little moment of that in the Deadpool film, so that's funny. You have Jessica Biel as Abigail Whistler, who is Whistler's illegitimate child. She's the child out of wedlock, and Whistler is back. He is killed by FBI agents in this. What's her name? Something Posey. Her last name is Posey. She was in Scream 3. And that makes sense because there's a New Line project that New Line did. The Scream franchise, right? I'm pretty sure New Line did the Scream franchise as well. And so to keep the same actors in the same talent field. I enjoy when that happens. Now watching Posey play Danica, who is this vampire, it's a pretty cool character as well. So the premise of this third and final Blade film, if you will, before this next reboot happens, whenever that might be, there are certain vampires, because it's different sects of vampires, SCCTS, sects of vampires. They're trying to get Dracula back from the dead. So they're in the deserts. They're in Iraq, Iran. Where was Sumer? Sumer was between the Tigris and the what other river is that? The two rivers. Sumer was in between the two rivers. Iraq, Iran, one of those places. So they're in the desert. They're digging up Dracula, who then they call Drake at various points because he can shapeshift then into this human form. They take him back to Los Angeles, and they're trying to frame Blade in regards to killing not just vampires, but humans. So they frame him, and then the FBI is on his trail. They're trying to track in regards to how many humans he killed, how many familiars he killed. Vampires don't exist, so that doesn't matter, but the humans, that matters. So trying to trick him, trying to frame him, getting him framed, getting that information on him. Then it's a matter of what happens now with these this new group of vampire hunters, the Night Stalkers. Is that what the group is called? Night Hunters, Night Stalkers. Ryan Reynolds, Hannibal Caine is a part of that. Abigail Whistler is a part of that. Some other people are a part of that. And one of them is this tech girl who's trying to find a formula now to defeat all vampires via genetic explosion and such. But the only way to do this, to counteract the virus, to create this new virus, is to get the original source, which would be Dracula. So it's all convenience. So Dracula's coming back. You got to get the new virus in Dracula. That way it can create this mass explosion and defeat all vampires, right? That's the premise of this. Now, does it work then just technically in the vicinity? Does it work worldwide? Not fully examined, but at the end we see the different vampires exploding and the particles flying to the next vampire and the next vampire, etc. So that just then condensed to this particular compound they're in? Is it going to go global? We don't actually get that. Blade is immune because he survives it, but it was a neat lead up. Ryan Reynolds' humor throughout this is just absolutely hysterical. You know, he's funny all around, but it's neat seeing it again in another character. So him being this Hannibal Caine character, I thought it suited him very well, which is also definitely 100% a prelude to him as the Deadpool character, because it's very much the same mannerisms, very much the same action, very much the same workout routine. He's just ripped, just Ryan is ripped beyond belief in this, leading then to 20 years later, the third Deadpool film, still perfect physique as he is. So it's cool seeing a lot of origin stuff in regards to certain actors and actresses starting in certain places and then moving various aspects, seeing certain past characters present in certain current characters. That's another fun thing to see as well. I enjoyed this film. I enjoyed the action sequences. I enjoyed that there was a kid in this reading the Wizard of Oz books. They were reading the Oz books, and they were up to the Emerald City of Oz. They were talking about the Gnome King, and she talks to Dracula, and he says, "Do you know who I am?" And she's like, "Yes, you're the Gnome King." And I'm freaking the freak out because not many people are familiar with the 14 Oz books. So the writer and the director of this obviously is familiar with the Oz books. So it's neat to see some for not gratification, but it's neat to see some recognition towards the Oz books in its entirety of 14 books from L. Frank Baum's books. Not just the very first Wonderful Wizard of Oz, as we know, was the 1939 film Wizard of Oz, musical, etc., after that, Broadway show, etc., after that. So it's neat. It's neat seeing those little things in between. It's neat picking up on these little cues. It's neat seeing actors and actresses and projects 20 years ago to present. I enjoy it. I enjoy watching this stuff. I enjoy the history of this stuff. I enjoy seeing the that leads to that kind of stuff in regards to someone's career, someone's storyline, someone's arc, character development in regards to a fictitious character, human development in regards to real life, not fiction. But Blade Trinity, very good film. We're going to jump into either our Daredevil marathon / our not Fast and Furious, Fantastic Four marathon. I don't know which one we're going to do first. I have to decide that. And then we'll eventually get to Deadpool and Wolverine. So, Blade Trinity, awesome film. On to the next review. Mahalo.